Yes, so welcome to Vasily's garden. We're looking at our citrus trees, our Espaliered citrus trees. These have gone nuts, folks. I gave these a feed about a month ago and they've just burst out. And I also gave them a light trim, and look at the reaction here. We've got all this new growth coming out again. And I'm trying to have a close look to see if I could spot any fruit. Yes, we got some fruit there. Or was that was an old one actually. I'm not going to be able to see. Wait a second. We've got these things here, goggles. Can I see fruit? Can I see fruit? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, I think I'm losing my mind. I ain't gonna see it yet. This had fruit last year. Anyway, that's the lime tree. Has the mandarin tree got any fruit? I saw fruit. Last time we were here, we had fruit on this. What's going on? Has it fallen off? Anyway, these trees need oh yeah, look at that. That's cooked. That's cooked. Look at that, it looks like it looks like a peppercorn, you know, from the peppercorn trees. There's one that's cooked. Any more? Have I cooked them? I don't think I've cooked them. But then again, I've done crazier things in the past. But look, these Espaliered trees, these have been shaped up to be growing flat. That's an informal, that's a fan shape. So we're using the mesh, we're not using horizontal wires, but we've got a lot of growth coming out still. And you should trim it off, but, well actually I have to trim this off because it's gone a little bit too thick for me, folks. I don't want it this thick. You can see the background there where it's Espaliered on the flat part there on the other side. And we're going to keep some of that there, but take all this other stuff that's coming out of it. It's quite reactive. Citrus trees are very reactive to prunes. So the harder you prune, the more growth you get out of them. And the chance that you're actually not going to get any fruit as well. And that's maybe what I've done here, but I don't mind that too much really. I'll get some fruit off this eventually. For those who've been emailing me, we've had a lot of emails coming through asking about citrus trees. When's the time to feed them? Well, now's the time to feed them if you haven't. And do protect them from citrus gall wasp and leaf miner. Even though it's cooling down now, you won't have as much of an effect or problems with those nasty pests. But do watch out for them. So if you see any leaf curling over and it's, you know, slimy lines on it that look like snail trails, that's your citrus leaf miner. Just cut those off, and you can spray it later on, or even now if you like with CGWS. But more so for those who don't have the space to grow a good citrus tree, Espaliered. It always works. It does work really well, and these will fruit, even though I may have lost the fruit on these ones here at the moment. It's too hard to tell at the moment. Let's go have a look at the orange tree. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Now, this is last year's fruit. Or have I cooked it as well? I can't really tell here. I don't see fruit on this at the moment, and just might be the cycle, or might be the weather, might be my feeding that's caused it, but they are looking lusciously green here, folks. So trimming, a nice trim, bring it back to shape, and hopefully we start to see some flowers coming on. Well, there should have been fruit on it already. The lemon tree's doing well. A couple of yellow leaves that we had in the past, they're going to fall off, but that's all new growth. Yeah, look, you know what it is? This one's a good indicator for the weather, because this one was, well, I replaced this a couple of times, and now it's kicked on, and you can see the good growth there and on the top, but it's also been weather beaten. So we've had high winds, hot weather, cold weather, knocking it about. That may be the reason why the fruit's fallen off, because of the hot weather, cold weather, the adverse weather, folks. So the orange tree, no, I don't see any flowers on this. Oh, actually I do down here, there's one or two, but a lot of them have turned out like this. And I reckon that's because I might have put too much food on them. It's crazy, huh? Never done that before. First time I've noticed that on my citrus trees. The other ones in the grow pots are doing really well. These ones here have all sort of lost their flowers. Could have been the weather. So combination of weather and bad weather and feeding could have been the problem for why it's happened to it. But at the end of the day, the tree's looking really healthy. There's no citrus gall wasp. There is no leaf miner, just nice luscious green leaves. And it'll settle down, we'll give it another prune, and they're still pretty young. We did harvest about 20 fruit off this one last time, so maybe not this time around, but in springtime I reckon it'll settle down and start flowering again. Oh, look, silly me. There's a fruit. We got one there. All right, so if you look closely, there's probably a few more there, but anyway, they disguise themselves because they're green. So prune your trees, citrus trees, give them a light prune, not a heavy prune, because that will cause them to become very, bushy and foliagey. Give them a light feed, not a heavy feed as well, so you don't burn the flowers just in case, because you don't want to cook them. Maybe that's what I did, and protect them really well. And consider shaping up a tree like an espalier if you haven't got the room, or get yourself a dwarf variety. Plenty of dwarf variety citrus trees out there in circulation, and plant some in the garden. The more trees in your garden, the better it is for you and the family to enjoy. Our website, folks, is still active, but our Coburg Garden Centre is closing down. So take advantage before we shut down the doors. This Sunday is our last trading day. Everything is on heavy, discounted prices, heavily discounted to clear. And if you want to do a click and collect, well, it's over for Coburg, but you can do a click and collect for Lethbridge. We'll have plenty of stock in Lethbridge, but that's a fair way away to travel for a lot of people from the other side of town. After we close the doors on Sunday in Coburg, and you can't travel to Lethbridge, well, we'll be coming to a garden centre near you. To find out where your local garden centre or stockist is, go to our website, vasiliesgarden.com, click on the stockist page and look for your garden centre in all states of Australia, folks. Everything will be available to everybody. Otherwise, you can come and say hello to us in Lethbridge. From me, Vasily, Maresi, I'll see you in Coburg.